Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to Rafael's Insights. Welcome. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you guys. This is going to be the predictions for October and the weeks to come. Definitely, I'm going to spray myself real quick and spray my space because the energy is very, very heavy lately. It's very heavy lately, and if you're wondering what this is my spiritual sprays. You guys can purchase them on my Etsy shop. On my Etsy shop, there's a lot of things. If you guys haven't been on my Etsy shop, there's a lot of things. There's spiritual sprays, protection brace. I gifted mine away yesterday when I went to when I went to Knott's. But when so I have like evil eye bracelets and protective charms and candle work to remove bad juju. Like candles like these to remove bad juju, to remove negative energies, to remove things that people are carrying in terms of envious energy. So go check it out. If you need a cleanse, I also sell egg cleanses that I do through Etsy as well. So go check it out. As a matter of fact, I'll leave you the link in the description below. I'll leave you the link to all my social medias, to also my readings, where you can book my readings, and also to my Etsy. So go ahead and check it out. It's going to be 3 links I'm going to post. But other than that, let's get started with the month of October. It definitely seems to be very strong. And we'll say these are the predictions for the month of October and the weeks and the months to come. Definitely, the card of the Wheel of Fortune is going to be the card that's going to be dominating. This card here tells me that in terms of the Wheel of Fortune, there's going to be major shifts. Those who are at the bottom are going to be at the top. Those who are at the top are going to be at the bottom. I see changes in terms of, geopolitical. I believe that's the word that I used last time. Geopolitical. I see changes in terms of politically as well. But the card of the Wheel of Fortune says it's going to be a month of tensions, a month of catastrophes, accidents. It says that in terms of climate, it starts shifting as well. And I see tensions between countries. A vision that I had is that I see another war starting, another war wanting to start, or a war starting, either in the month of October or that it's coming. But the energy of the devil is definitely going to be very present. I see that it's going to be a very violent month, very aggressive, lots of tragedy. Sadly, I'm seeing state of emergencies, like in multiple countries, because I had a vision of like state of emergencies in multiple countries, or an emergency involving multiple countries in terms of like something happens in a certain country. But state of emergencies, I was seeing them still in the United States, in the Caribbean, in Canada. So it seemed like it was everywhere from what I saw in my visions. The other thing that I see is that I do see in terms of climate that the card of the moon is going to start dominating. The moon starts dominating. The sun still continues to dominate, but the moon starts dominating in terms of water. It's going to be a month of floods. The cold is going to start arriving. I see in terms of the cold, just like how the sun created situations that we've never seen before, the cold is going to create situations like that too. The cold is going to surprise us. The cold is going to be reaching places that it hasn't reached before, and it says that the snow is going to arrive sooner than expected. But this month, the card of the moon dominates in terms of floods, strong storms, natural catastrophes, in terms of hurricanes still. In terms of hurricanes, I still see a hurricane that's going to be making landfall, or that's going to be landing either in the Caribbean or in the Gulf. In the way that I see it in my vision, it looks like it's going through all the islands of the Caribbean, or it looks like it's going through the islands of the Caribbean and it enters the Gulf, or it starts in the Gulf and it goes towards the Gulf of Mexico, or it goes towards the United States. But I definitely see still hurricanes that there's still going to be another strong hurricane that's going to land, is what I'm seeing here. The other thing that I see is that I see political changes. I see it's going to be a month of radical changes, a month of betrayals, a month of radical changes, because in terms of Ecuador, and Argentina, they're having elections right now. And in terms of for the election for Argentina, I see Javier Milei winning the presidency for Argentina. And for Ecuador, I see Daniel Noboa winning the presidency in Ecuador. So it's going to be a month of radical changes, a month of betrayals between politicians in terms of assassination attempts or terror attacks against other politicians. But the main thing that I see in terms of death continues to gallop. death continues to gallop around world leaders, around leaders. I know we just lost Dianne Feinstein, but I still see deaths. I still see another death in terms of person in power, in terms of world leader. But the energy of death dominates in terms of that there's going to be another resignation, a death, or a leader's going to fall ill in the month of October, or the months to come, the weeks to come. But I definitely see that the energy of death continues to gallop. The other thing the energy of death tells me is that there's going to be a death specifically in Latin America or in the Caribbean of a president or ex-president or leader or ex-leader that's going to be passing. The energy of death tells me that there's that specifically there. And I've mentioned it before that I see a death coming. It's most likely going to be some sort of like a, it looks like it's going to be like a dictator or someone who was a dictator when they were in power. So the energy of death is going to be very present. I do see more artists passing away. I see more artists passing away in the month of October. We're gonna say we're gonna see artists passing away in October. But the strongest thing that I'm seeing in terms of October and in the weeks to come, the months to come, is that for an artist, a singer, or a group, there's going to be an assassination. There's going to be a death, a tragedy, or an accident that's going to happen. He seems to be young. That's why I represent him with the card of the Fool, because this card here represents young people. He seems to be young, and it seems like they either do this while he's singing or do this when he's traveling. But I definitely see that there's a death coming in terms of a group, an artist, or a singer that's well known or known. The other thing that I'll tell you is that I do still see power outages. I do still see power outages specifically. The power outage that manifested was more specifically in the Caribbean or in Latin America. But either way, I still see power outages. In terms of volcanic eruptions, I do see volcanic eruptions as well. Volcanic eruptions are going to continue to move. Volcanoes are going to start moving. In terms of volcanic eruption, I'm seeing a volcanic eruption in Latin America, in Australia, near Australia, or in Europe. Definitely I'm seeing volcanoes move pretty radically. In terms of sickness, I see that the energy of sickness begins to move worldwide. I see a crisis of health, a health crisis that's going to be moving worldwide. In terms of corona, there's going to be new variants, and I do see that things are going to get complicated with corona once again, or that it's going to be a new sickness that's going to cause a health crisis. But definitely when the cold arrives, the sickness is going to get more aggressive. But definitely, let me just check my predictions, make sure I spoke to you about everything. But other than that, I think we'll leave it at that. I think that was a little bit of a heavy prediction. It was a bit of heavy prediction, so we'll leave it at that. It was an absolute pleasure to be able to do this for you guys. It's always a pleasure, and I'll see you guys next time. I think that we'll leave it there. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for everybody who watches me. If you like my videos, go ahead and click in the link go ahead and click the link so you can follow me on all my social medias in the description below, and also hit the like button and make sure you guys share my video. But I do see something very strong, and it makes me sad because when I see this, it seems to be in terms of the death with that artist, it seems to be very sad. So I definitely still see something very strong that's coming for that person. But you guys have a great day. It's an absolute pleasure. It's always a pleasure, and I love you guys. Bye-bye.